Hey everybody, I am Anthony. I guess you are all enjoying roasted and boiled mealies as we are here at the Gigat Studios. Today in the studio we have Rejoice Msiwa and your twin Ponto. They are going to be talking about Earth observation data and its implementation in agriculture. Tune in.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, Rachel. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And how are you?
I'm very well.
You're very low.
I said I'm very well.
Okay, thank you.
I'm okay. I'm alright. Yes.
Thank you. So welcome to our video chat.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm very honored. So we just rush into the actual business. So I'll let you introduce yourself to the congregation.
Oh, okay. My name is Joyce Msiwa.
Yeah.
I have a bachelor's degree in surveying and geomatics. I've been working in the industry for 4 years now, mainly under remote sensing using Earth observation in agriculture. Yes, I've worked in estates around Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. 4 years experience. Wow, I admire that.
Yeah, well, it's not a lot though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not much. I'm still young in the industry.
And vibrant,
I'm,
right?
I'm still a newbie. Yeah, I'm still learning also.
Oh, that's great. So, you are into Earth observations in agriculture, right?
Yes.
So, our future today focuses on what you do. We are looking at Earth observations and their applications in agriculture. So, do you mind defining for us what's Earth observation data? What is that?
Okay, so Earth observation is just gathering information about the Earth's physical, biological, or chemical systems that we have. So there's many technologies that can be used to gather this information. The main one being satellites, and UAVs also are used to collect this data. But what they both have in common is that they use remote sensing, where they use the light to capture images on the surface of the Earth. And it is the difference in spectral readings that we get from each and every material that is on the surface of the Earth. That difference in spectral reflectance difference is what we use to differentiate materials within the image that we get from these Earth observation technologies. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
So how do we use this in agriculture? How do we use it?
Okay, so in agriculture, remote sensing in agriculture, so Earth observation to say, in agriculture, there are many aspects when it comes to a crop. You need to know how it's doing, the crop itself, the soil, the weather, the water availability that we have, what's happening to the dams that are nearby that we're using, the rivers, the land, even the land itself, when it comes to other types of irrigation, like flood irrigation, you need to know how your land is tilted and whatnot. So with satellite satellite data, you are able to monitor the crop. You are able to monitor the soils that you have. You are able to monitor the rivers close by. I mean, your water the water resources which you need to use for irrigation. You're able to see if there's a drought, and there's any change in climate, and things like that. So there are many aspects in agriculture which you can use the satellite for. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I see.
Mhm.
So, wow. I'm really impressed. I didn't know we had such in this country. Okay. So,
Oh yeah. Sorry.
is it only in Zimbabwe that, oh, I mean, is it only in agriculture that we use this Earth observation data?
No. Earth observation has a lot of applications. It's even
Oh,
applied in, yes, it's applied in transportation, it's applied in health, it's applied anywhere basically where they need to see special data is required. You can use this Earth observation data. Yes, in disaster management, they are used. So yeah, they have a lot of data. We have a lot of data when it comes to Earth observation. Just lying there, just needs to be used. Yes.
okay, I get it. So,
Mhm.
currently looking at the Zimbabwe situation, do we have any current projects that are using this data to manage wave farming activities or something?
Well, from what I have observed with Earth observation, it is not used very much in Zimbabwe, but there are companies that use it. But even though there is little knowledge of what satellites could do, because if you try to tell someone about satellites, they'll tell you maybe the data is expensive, or maybe we don't know how to get the data. But in actual fact, if there's any cheap data under the sun, it's from satellite. You can get it anytime, in any way. That's how great these satellites are. So I think it's only a matter of that people don't know about these. They're not well informed about these satellites and how they can be used to improve the way we do agriculture in our country.
Oh, so is it a new technology or it's been there, but people have been so ignorant about it?
Satellites have been there for quite a long time. They've always been there, but they're now improving. What we're getting from there is improving, and also because of technology, things like IoTs, these sensors that can be put around farms,
Okay.
which collects data. You can use that information as well as Earth observation data to actually get something meaningful from what you're doing within your farm. So they are getting more recognized now because of these new technologies that are now occurring. But satellites have always been there, which is where their strength is from actually. Because if you want to look at something, like if you want to see what has been happening with this piece of land for the last 10 years, it's possible to do that with a satellite. You can get all that information. It's always gathering information for us, even if we do not even know that we are going to need that information later on. They're always getting information for us and then storing it. And anytime that we want to see it, anytime we want to see any patterns that have been happening within an area, we can always go back even 40 years from now and see what has been happening. That's the beauty of satellites.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So, you're saying the satellites is the way of using satellite is cheap. So, can small scale farmers actually implement this technology too?
Yeah, most certainly. Satellites are not there. Information is readily available. Satellites.
Okay.
All you have to do is have a laptop and some Wi-Fi, and you can get and someone who knows how to process the data, obviously. But the information is always there. Unless you have some specific type of information that you actually want, then maybe that's when you need to buy some type of resolution that you might need. Then that's maybe when you need to buy that information. Yeah, but otherwise, satellites, we have a lot of them, and we have so much information that we can get for free.
Oh, rural grandfathers understand all this.
No, what happens is if you go to them and maybe you try and explain to them why you're doing that. Tell them that you don't need to be at your farm all the time. You can see what's
Yeah.
happening at your farm while you're home. You don't have to drive all the time. Go and see what's happening at your farm. And maybe if you explain it to them that way, they might understand. But yeah, it's more used with people with the wood farm educator skills. Yeah, because you cannot spend all the day roaming around the estate, 10,000 hectare estate,
Yeah, you
just to
can.
see how it is. Yeah, so if you show someone with a satellite image or showing how exactly the crop has been performing in the past few months or few weeks, I think it's easier than having to drive in and just visibly see the changes.
Okay, I understand. So then, is this idea open to the Zimbabwean government?
Well, I haven't worked with the government before, but considering that there is Zingza and I'm sure they do have an Earth observation section, so I'm sure they must be looking into it. I haven't worked with the government before, but I'm sure since we have a space agency, they actually look into that.
Okay, I see. So you were saying one can actually work from home, but actually controlling and having an appreciation of whatever is happening at their farm. So how can one possibly monitor their crops using this technology?
Well, if you're trying to monitor a crop, I mean the basics when it comes to crop monitoring could be just the NDVI, the normalized difference vegetation index, right? I hope I got it correct. Yes. So yeah, that index. There are a lot of index, but that's the most common because every crop is different. So it's an index would depend on the type of crop. There are crops that have a lot of canopy. They'll do well with NDVI, but you find that there are other crops that don't have canopy and have a lot of soil in between. Let's say a field of beans, there's going to be space in between, which means we're going to have reflectance of soil. So maybe another index like Savi would actually work better because it incorporates the reflectance that we're getting from the ground. So with these indices, all they're trying to do is measure how the crop has been doing when it comes to its greeniness, its vegetation, the chlorophyll within it. So if you're able to get the place that you want to do this, you do an NDVI for it, and you can do another one for tomorrow. This is just the basics. I'm just saying the basic way of monitoring how a crop performs. So you have an index this week, you have another index tomorrow, sorry, another week later on, and then way later on, and then you can actually see the difference of what has been happening within the farm. Also, that information can be used with other information to actually calculate the yield estimation, which could be used to predict the yield way before the crop is actually been harvested, which can be used. You don't have to wait to harvest to know your yield. You just have to use this kind of information to predict your yield and be prepared. Yeah.
Wow, it's such a technology. I didn't know. Okay, so then are there any particular stages where the monitoring is needed or it can be just applied anytime?
Anytime, like I said, you can monitor the crop itself, you can monitor the soil before you even plant, you can monitor the land, you can monitor the weather, how's the temperature, how's the rainfall going to happen, things like that. You can monitor a lot of things before, during, and after, even after you've harvested. Anytime that you need to monitor, you can do that.
So why isn't our agricultural sector that vibrant with all this technology?
Yes, yes. There is a lot of technology
Oh,
that's being used. Yes, because even now, because satellites are, yes, they are part of Earth observation, but we also have UAVs, the drones. Yeah,
yeah.
also they came to supplement areas where satellites could not supplement. For instance, when you need the data in a better spatial resolution compared to satellites. Drones would give you a better resolution. If you need
Oh,
the data maybe instantly, you might use a drone to get that. But the drones, mainly in agriculture, they are now used for spraying, yeah, for spraying herbicides and pesticides, and it makes the work faster, the work easier, and yeah, it makes, and which means there's more crop production like that.
okay. So,
Yes.
so what's the major difference between an image from that observation and that from a UAV?
Oh, the main difference would be the resolution. Images from UAVs or any data, let's say, from UAVs is a higher resolution
Okay.
compared to satellites. But the advantage of satellites over UAVs is their consistency. They can get you information from way back, which can be used to predict what might happen in the future. And with UAVs, they can actually give you information that has better resolution, which you can work with there and then. So I think that's the main differences. But with these two, they are both under Earth observation, and UAVs they came to help this where satellites we no longer could not perform well better. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. So, are there any pros and cons to this technology?
Mm, the 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 pros, I think the advantage, like I said, for satellite
Yeah.
is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have several info data that you have, which you can use to create models and predict things that might happen later on. And I think maybe the most disadvantage for satellites would be the clouds, which is where
Okay.
drones help a lot. Yeah, because satellites are affected when it's cloudy. They work very bad when it comes to cloud cover. But in areas like that, let's say you really actually need the data there and then, and you want it in better
Oh,
format. That's when UAVs can come in play. They are not affected by they're not affected by cloud cover. Yeah.
all right, I see. So basically, say you use the two interchangeably or something like that, right?
Sorry.
I was saying, so we can basically conclude that you use Earth observation data and UAVs interchangeably.
Oh, UAVs are part of Earth observation data.
Okay, that's
Yes,
great.
yeah, they're part. Satellites and UAVs are part of Earth observation.
All
They
right.
both observe the Earth, and yes, they use remote sensing, both of them. So they are part of Earth observation. But the main technology that's used by many people is satellites, mainly because they are cheap. The UAV is expensive. It will take time. It will take your labor. It will take money to buy it. But the satellites, they're always orbiting around us. So yeah, people would opt for satellites because they're cheap. But satellites and UAVs are both Earth observation.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Ah, wow,
Okay.
that was great. Do you have anything else you want to share with us?
Well, I just want people to get more into Earth observation. There's a lot that we can do with this data. We have so much data that besides being in agriculture, like I said, even disaster management, even in health, even in transportation and the like, you can use Earth observation data in all those departments. So I'm just rooting that people understand better about this, and maybe we can have a lot more happening within Zimbabwe when it comes to Earth observation data.
Okay. So then my maybe last question would be, do I need any other kind of qualification to fit that
To
field?
No, well, I would say maybe my advantage was me working within the agriculture sector, and the place that I worked in had so many resources when it comes to technology. That's when I realized that we can use this technology, using also Earth observation data. Now applying my background with was there already, but with the basic, I only did my bachelor's degree. I don't have anything, but I would say maybe my benefit is working for that company where there was I was actually shocked to say tractor that could move on its own in Zimbabwe. So
Really?
yeah, it's those, yes, with autonomous tractors, they all you have to do is calibrate them. So that was my job, working with them, calibrating them, and you see them do that. So when you get exposed to such technology, I think it opens up your mind to see what can I do with this technology, and also my background. I guess that's when I knew I decided to do about this, but I don't have any other qualification besides my bachelor's degree and my experience. So yeah, this is in Zimbabwe. Nowhere else. I saw this in Zimbabwe, but then I realized this is not very common in Zimbabwe, and
Oh,
not a lot of people know this. But yeah, it's there. So yeah,
all right, all right. Thank you so much.
mhm.
Wow. Thank
it's
you.
it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
All right, thank you so much. So this concludes our J chat. Thank you so much for sharing this kind of information with us, and we hope you continue sharing more.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a
All
great
right.
day.
Have have a good day too.
Thank you for tuning into our show, where we discuss how geomatics is being used to transform daily lives within communities.